looks pretty much like Reed Duke's list. He's got the 1 Restoration Angel, 2 Augur of Bolus, 4 Thragtusk. He's got a Master Components. He's got Elixir of Immortality. There you see him on the left. Versus Ryan Rhinobarger.
Yeah, no, he's playing a 4-color Reanimator deck. He's playing the Crater Hoof Behemoth Frights deck that really kind of harkens back to just the beginning of the format. It's a Grisly Salvage, Mulch, Faithless Looting, Centaur Healers, full set of Angel Serenities, Thragtusks, Restoration Angels.
That is an awesome last name, and I feel like he's playing a deck that is it's like, what am I gonna do? Rhinobarger, you know, like Crater Hoof Behemoth, you know, I'm just gonna beat you down with big guys. It just sounds like his last name is a deck name. In fact, I like his last name as a deck name better than I like 4-color Reanimator.
Both these players are currently at X1-1. They have an outside shot of making the top 8 here. The winner of this match does have an outside shot of making the top 8.
And looks like the players are taking a look at their opening 7. Ryan says, I'll keep. Michael? Looks like Michael keeps too, so we have a turn 1 Blood Crypt from Ryan. And a Faithless Looting. Nice start for Ryan. Turn 1 Faithless Looting. It is where you want to be. I mean, if you're playing that deck.
Yeah. Faithless Looting is the sort of situation. A turn 1 Faithless Looting is okay. Sometimes you wait till playing it until turn 2 or turn 3 so that you make sure you have lesser cards to discard to it. In this situation, it really is the Bant versus Reanimator matchup. So Reanimator, in a lot of ways, is like a Bant deck, and that has the same finishers as the Bant deck, except it plays them in more cheaty, fast ways. Because the speed of these cards doesn't matter, a lot of times what ends up happening is, really, it's just like a Bant mirror where the 4-color Reanimator deck's a little bit like, I guess, a gimpy Bant deck. It's a little, it's a funky, less efficient Bant deck.
Yeah, I mean, as far as finishers go, it's just
same cards.
It's Thragtusk. I mean, that's the
Thragtusk and Angel are the finishers.
This particular Bant deck doesn't have Angel.
This one does not have Angel Serenity. So we do have some differences then. It has, all right.
It has Restoration Angel, but that's not the Angel you were talking about.
Right. So back in the game, Ryan, turn 3, he now has a Crater of Behemoth and Burial Rites in the graveyard. His Cavern of Souls is on Angel.
And Michael playing the typical control role of land go and passing back. So Ryan setting things up nicely.
That should be coming into play tapped for Ryan, actually. We may want to pause the match here. That Sun Petal Grove should be coming into play tapped. He doesn't have a plains or forest.
No forest, no plains.
So yeah, we're gonna pause this 1 second here.
Okay, you see what can happen is we caught that pretty much right away, and look how long it takes for
and his opponent hasn't caught it.
Right, exactly. So it's look, we're already at he's drawing a card, and we can't get the information to them any faster. It's land.
All right. Well, we'll continue. We'll let you know what's happened here. Yeah, this is fairly awkward.
Players, this is a final call to pre-register for tomorrow's event.
Well, in the meantime, Crater Hoof Behemoth has been...
So I believe at this point the play can't be reversed. So the play will be accepted. Probably what happened is Ryan will get a warning. The play will be accepted. I don't know. I will let you know what the resolution of this is. I'm pretty sure they're going to play under the conditions as though like the opponent acknowledged the play. Ryan will likely get a warning of some sort here. We will let you know as that develops. It's just as it's too late to reverse it.
Apparently, immediately it's too late. I don't really know how much faster we can get the information to them, but the situation is we're going with it. So, Crater Hoof Behemoth has been dealt with a detention sphere, and the board is currently clear. I think the players may be getting being told what happened, but that's why the pause in the action.
Regardless, it's not even that, it's not a backbreaking sequence of plays. Like, To be honest, it probably would have been. I think if in Ryan's situation, I probably would reanimate the Thragtusk there actually before the Crater Hoof Behemoth. But okay, so Ryan Rhinobarger has received a warning, a game warning at this point, which that's probably correct.
Sure, it wasn't like intentional, I don't think.
No.
So Tameo taps down to Cavern of Souls. Michael, fresh cast Tameo, and we see another Grizzly salvage from Ryan.
So there's the unfair part of Ryan's deck where he really gets to load up on resources like Grizzly Salvage, draws a threat plus puts Lingering Souls in the graveyard. That's the kind of mode he's on. Caffery, like I said, is going to be playing fair, but because he's playing fair, his cards are better at doing what they're doing.
And Ryan looks like he's got a Dreadbore for that Tameo. Nothing Michael can do about that. Tapped out. Tameo dies. Cavern of Souls freed up next turn. Presuming not a second copy of Tameo, which is not present. There's only one main deck Tameo. One in the entire 75, in fact. So, no more Tameos this game.
Lingering Souls will put some threats on the board for Ryan Rhinobarger. He only plays one Crater Hoof Behemoth, so Caffery does not have to worry about these Lingering Souls going, getting overrun.
Well, he doesn't know that though, so he may worry about them anyway.
Right. I mean, from our side, he doesn't have to worry about it.
Right. And there we have a Thragtusk.
And like I said, a lot of this plays out like a Bant mirror, and for those of you familiar with the Bant control mirror, it is full of Thragtusks and 3/3s, and takes a long time, and we may be in get comfortable in your seats. We may start seeing the Thragtusk wars commence.
Yeah, sit back, relax, and prepare for a bunch of beasts.
All right, and a full tap out from Ryan Rhinobarger is going to bring out Angel of Serenities, and do that when there's only one card. Or one land untapped from Caffery. So he's going to steal the Thragtusk from Caffery and then get his own Thragtusk and Centaur Healer. So Caffery will get a 3/3. This is the hope that what Ryan wants to do. So the interesting part about this matchup is that Michael does not have Angel of Serenities, whereas Ryan does. So Ryan has this nice late game plan, especially now that his Cavern's on Angel, of looping Angel of Serenities.
Yeah.
At least pre-board, Caffery will have no graveyard hate, and really no way to stop looping Angel of Serenities.
Yeah, it's a tough hole to dig out of at this point. Well, I guess you can call it a hole. It's more like Cavern on Angel is just one of those things it's tough to deal with. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can deal with the Angel, but once they start looping, it's just a matter of how are you going to win?
If he finds another one, I don't see in Michael Cafferty's main deck, because Michael's not playing Angel, I don't actually see a way for Michael to deal with it. If you look through the entire 60 he's playing, I don't believe he has something that can interact with two looping Angels. So Ryan Rhinobarger right now is one Angel in his hand away from, I think, winning the game. Yeah,
the best one of the plans that I think Michael could do, but it's a little early to be really looking for this as the game plan, is trying to use Drown Yard to win the game and force him to keep looping the Angels. You just have to keep dealing with it. As long as it doesn't have haste, you keep repeatedly dealing with the Angels as much as possible. He does have Elixir of Immortality to loop his own spells. It's not necessarily
he could mill out Ryan.
Right, exactly.
So what happened? Ryan mulched. Recap for those of you listening. Yeah. Ryan mulched into 3 lands, discarded Dreadbore, but found 3 lands, and then end step Michael Cafferty Sphinx's Revelation for 4. That puts Cafferty back up to 10, but his beast is still on the wrong side of a race of an Angel of Serenity and 2 Spirit Tokens.
Good recap.
So both players with full grips now at this point.
Restoration Angel from Ryan Rhinobarger.
And Dresser just as a 3/4. Remember, Angel cannot flash Angel. This only flashes non-Angel creatures.
Yep. Ryan trying to take out Michael before he's able to really stabilize at all. And we see a Faithful Saluting from Ryan. Discards, looks like 2 lands, Temple Garden and something else, presumably Blood Crypt or...
Alright, so we have Yeah, Michael's going to need a way to deal with the board here. He does, for sweepers, he does have a full set of Supreme Verdicts.
And there's an Azorius Charm for the attacking Angel of Serenity. It's going to reload Ryan's hand there with a Thragtusk and a Centaur Healer. Michael gets his Thragtusk back, and Michael takes 5 from Restoration Angel and 2 Spirits. Currently down to 9, so
Yeah,
relatively healthy, but still needs to find an answer.
Yeah, both players have another Thragtusk, so the life totals are going to start creeping back up again.
And there you see the first one. Ryan's got his Thragtusk. We know he's got Angel of Serenity on top just from the Azorius Charm. Michael does not play the Thought Scour Azorius Charm combo, so to speak, to deal with the Angel off the top of the
Actually,
library.
Ryan's going to mulch here, but he knows his top card's Angel of Serenity. I don't.
Wow.
That is very aggressive to me, and I'm not sure I don't particularly like that play.
Right. I mean, I don't know if he has more on Burial Rights available.
I only like that play if he has another Angel already in his hand.
And that's a possibility here. So
Yeah. So that way, that'd be my guess, because once I said, like I said, the looping Angels is really fantastic.
So Beast from Michael Caffery is getting in there, and
puts Ryan down to 15. Remember, Michael does, in some aspect, is going to have to race in this matchup. So Ryan has the late game in these looping Angels.
and a Supreme Verdict from Michael. Michael's probably pretty happy with that that mulch.
Yeah. So Michael plays Supreme Verdict and his own Thragtusk.
Yep. So the board's clear, besides a Thragtusk on Michael Caffery's side, and Ryan has a Beast left over from his Thragtusk.
Yeah, now, remember, if Ryan does have a Restoration, an Angel of Serenity, he's going to get full value out of it. He'll get back Thragtusk, Angel of Serenity.
Faithless Looting.
Remember, Rhinobarger with a full set of Angel of Serenities today.
Yeah, not too difficult for him to find a second Angel if he doesn't have it, but still, if he doesn't have it, I'm surprised he mulched.
Discards 2 lands.
And he,
I don't believe he has it yet.
no, he doesn't. He's at least not casting it here. He's going to flashback Faithless Looting.
He's still looking for one.
And draws.
Another Thragtusk and a Gristly Salvage. That'll let him go even deeper for it.
So he hasn't found an Angel, but he's got ways to dig. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that what the Caffery will have to do now is Caffery's going to have to deal 20 damage before Rhinobarger, not Rhinobarger, Rhinobarger.
Oh, well.
Sorry about that.
It did say Rhinobarger at some point on the screen.
Yep. So we keep. Yep, and there we go.
And there's the Angel.
There's the Angel. What did he take?
Not the Angel.
He salvaged into not the Angel. I see.
Maybe he's not as impressed with the Angel of
No,
Serenity
I think,
as we are.
He's doing something different. I'm not positive. I think he put 2 Unburial Rights in the graveyard.
Yeah.
So perhaps he doesn't,
He doesn't need to hard cast it. Although having uncounterable Angels seems pretty good because Unburial Rights is counterable.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, he has more Angels. There are 4 in his deck.
And there you see Unburial Rights for Angel of Serenity.
Yep, and it will remove, I believe, another Angel and 2 Thragtusks.
And that looks like the plan. Angel, Thragtusk, and Michael's Thragtusk. So this is just a back and forth Thragtusk battle, kind of with a splash of Angel of Serenity.
Michael Caffery, I mean, the thing is that he's gone for a more spell-heavy build of Band Control. No Angel of Serenities. He has the full set of Sphinx's Revelations, which will be much better in a metagame full of aggro decks and even mirror matches. But in this particular situation, the combination of Cavern and Angel of Serenity is very hard for him to beat.
There we see Thragtusk from Michael Caffery to replace the one that is currently under the Angel on the other side of the board. The Beasts traded off just last turn. There was an attack and a block and a trade, and it left just the Angel holding back a couple of beasts and another Angel.
Sure.
So the board state right now, besides a billion lands on both sides.
Yeah. Rhinobarger, the thing is that Caffery still has the ability to race right now, which Rhinobarger would hope to have another threat on the battlefield so that can't happen.
Now, interestingly, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, Michael may just try to mill Ryan out, and all of this is, I mean, he's going to still attack when there's an opening, but look at the life totals.
Yep, I mean, they're going kind of in the right directions, kind of not. Very tusk down for Rhinobarger.
It feels like that Angel of Serenity attacks for 1 or something, based on just like, he's still at 14. How many hits is he taking from Angels and Beasts and things?
Well, it's more that Caffery, you know, with a full set of Sphinx's Revelation, is very possibly going to Revelation here. So yeah, Rhinobarger needs to deal 20 through the face of multiple Revelations, and is going to have to not get milled by Drown Yard. He's really racing the eventual Drown Yard.
And he's helping Michael's cause. Michael does not have Drown Yard in play. Ryan has been drowning himself with Mulches and Grizzly Salvages.
Right, there is 1 Drown Yard in Caffery's deck.
So, I mean, while the Drown Yard isn't in play, Ryan is still milling himself quite a bit.
So an End-Step Restoration Angel made a really big army for Rhinobarger. He now has...
Blink the Thragtusk.
Yep. So he now has, and he's in a second Restoration Angel. He Restoration Angeled on the end step of Thragtusk, now he's doing it again off Cavern Mana. So he has swung for 11.
Yeah, it's a little complex down there because a lot of that stuff is actually just under the Angel of Serenity.
Right. So it's a Thragtusk, 2 Restoration Angels, 2 Beasts, and an Angel of Serenity. Now Caffery, another big haymaker of his own, is going to end step Sphinx's Revelation for 8.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah.
So that'll bring him back up to 11, negating most of the attack. But Rhinobarger still has a lethal swing. Now, Caffery almost certain to Supreme Verdict here.
Yeah, if he didn't have one already...
He certainly has one now.
Yeah, although, I don't know. I'm looking through his hand and I'm not seeing something that looks like Verdict.
Well, wouldn't that be something? That would be very... that would be pretty bad for him if he didn't actually find one.
Yeah, I'm seeing Think Twice. I'm seeing some Farseeks.
A lot of lands.
Yeah. I mean, he's got ways to draw into Supreme Verdict, if you know, and there's one of them. Jace, Architect of Thought, another one of. He's going to go ahead and use the Fact or Fiction. Sees Restoration Angel, and there's a Verdict and a Supreme, and a third one down. So, I mean, he was going to find it.
I mean, the thing is that Rhinobarger has to watch out. Caffery can just continually, you know, he can just continue to just sweep the board, and actually, I don't think Rhinobarger. Yeah, Caffery will take the Supreme Verdict. Interestingly enough, this game is starting to swing toward Caffery.
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 No T. I was doing it wrong too, and I just realized it. And a Farseek from Michael.
So, and then I think we're seeing a pair of Farseeks from Caffery, going to be followed up by what's probably an attack and then a Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, I mean he's just making Ryan dread. He just knows the Supreme Verdict is coming. He's slow rolling it here.
Sure.
We did see a...
Now, what I do think, and I'm not sure I completely have liked in plays right now, is Ryan, who's been playing these Angel of Serenities, has been continually exiling Caffery's Thragtusks. I think after this verdict, he's going to want to stop that. He's going to only want to put his own, start O-ringing his own. You know, this stalemate they're reaching where they just sweep and rebuy and sweep and rebuy is only, you know, is not going to, this cycle will not end if he continues to give Caffery more Angel Serenities.
So the Supreme Verdict clears the board of all but a pair of beasts, one on each side, and a Jace Architect of Thought on Caffery's side.
Yeah, and that Jace is gonna, get beaten up by the beast here.
But it's gonna,
or by the Restoration Angel, any of the above.
yes.
Because their Angel Serenity he casts will almost certainly exile the beast token.
Sure. I believe was an end step Restoration Angel there, and
remember, Caffery with another Thragtusk has just been given back to him.
and Jace did his job. Found that Supreme Verdict.
Yep.
It's exactly what Michael wanted.
It's what
Now,
needed to happen.
You see, like this Bant control list, basically, it spends in these long grindy games. It spends a huge chunk of time just staying alive and getting all the lands out of its deck, right? And then it can play Elixir and get all the spells it had previously cast back into its library. It has basically an all business spell
It can
library.
start revelationing every single turn.
Yeah,
if it wants to.
It can get to the point where
It can go
it's all
sweeper
business.
every single turn. So Caffery's going to try to set up a board where it goes, every single turn he'll be like, play something along the lines of Supreme Verdict, Sphinx's Revelation. Go.
Yeah.
Supreme Verdict, Sphinx's Revelation, Crack Elixir. Go. Supreme Verdict, Sphinx's Revelation.
Over and over again. In the meantime, he's staying alive, and Ryan is losing. His library is just dwindling. So we see the Angel of Serenity deals with, as you mentioned, the Beast token, the another Angel of Serenity underneath there, and a Thragtusk, I believe. And of course, the Jace went away as we suspected.
So Rhinobarger now has another Angel in his hand. He has to make sure he doesn't mill himself here.
There he is,
whether he
counting his
knows or
library.
not. That's the way. That's the way Caffery's going to try to win the game.
And it appears that Ryan's down to maybe 10 or less cards. Did it look like that to you? Maybe a dozen
It
cards?
looks like about a dozen. Yeah, somewhere between 10 and 20. Which, unless Caffery has a Drown Yard, is far too many. And Caffery has not found the Drown Yard yet, so.
Presumably, yeah. I mean, unless it's in his hand right now. Michael able to just stay alive.
The Drown Yard is in his hand. It's that top card right there.
Ah, okay. So there you see a Thragtusk. Again, just staying alive like the Bee Gees. I wish I could take that pun a little bit further, but I'm just going to stop right there.
All right, Drown Yard in play for Michael Caffery. So now the Caffery's win con has hit the table.
Yeah, and he's not hiding it either. Right on top with the 3 lands to activate.
His hand has a slew of Think Twices and counter spells. He draws what looks to be a Centaur Healer. So game 1 going pretty late here. Remember, both these players with a draw, so they cannot take a draw here. Both of them actually are just on the edge of top 8 contention. They both need an assist to get into top 8. It's very likely that it's possible that even if one of these two wins out, that they might miss.
So Rhinobarger in the tank, trying to decide exactly what he wants to do here. He really, I think the writing's on the wall for him, where he realizes he needs to do that last 13 damage quickly, because he's getting to the point where he could lose. What is that? That looks like less than 10 cards to me. I think it was maybe 10.
Right. So, and this matchup's where the one thing what I'm skeptical of is the question is whether or not Rhinobarger had to exile all the Thragtusks. I think he kind of gave Caffery some extra Thragtusks, so some extra time in this matchup.
Right.
We'll see if it's still. He may not come back to get him, and it's certainly what he's done. He's been playing it safe, in the sense that he's not. He's been protecting his own life total very carefully.
Rhinobarger has?
Yes.
Yeah, and you can see he's at 35, and life total is not even what Michael has his sights set on.
Right. And to be fair, I don't know how standard a Drown Yard is in Bant decks.
This is something that I've seen a lot lately. I believe Reduke did do this. I think even maybe Andrew Cuneo did it originally a few weeks ago. The one of Drown Yard, one of Overgrown Tomb has been in the Bant decks.
Like we have a cheering section on Twitter, erupting in cheers when a Drown Yard hit the battlefield. I have a tweet I want to share. Yay, the game might go somewhere now. Certainly. I mean, what I keep telling people is like, right now, Bantamers and Block-N-Start in particular really could use a Drown Yard. If you don't like this kind of matchup, don't play Block right now. That's what it's all about.
I love it. I love. This is. I was playing the other night, and this Drown Yard is how I was winning. Although I was Esper and he was Bant, and he was looping. He was doing the Angel thing, and I was like, fine, keep gaining life. I'm going to drown you.
Right.
It's fun. It feels good.
So another Angel of Serenity for Rhinobarger. It's all his angels are Cavern. Remember. He's under it. He will put Thragtusk, Restoration Angel, and he'll find something and another Restoration.
Yeah, another Restoration Angel. So, I mean, all kinds of value under those angels for Ryan.
Yeah, it's the deck that Caffery has to go for.
Yeah, Caffery just needs to stay alive.
Think twice. He's going to try to find a number. He has a full playset of Supreme Verdicts. Caffery's not found a verdict. He did find another Thragtusk.
That also another, he's got 4 copies of Sphinx's Revelation. That
interestingly enough, and I think he's correct here. It's not right for him to start Drown Yarding. He needs to find another. Yeah, and he's going to go think twice, flashback, think twice. And I completely agree here because what he has to do is he needs to make sure he can control the gameplay.
Right, and again, life total doesn't matter. None of these guys have haste except if you count Restoration Angel as a pseudo haste kind of thing. But getting rid of those angels makes Ryan have to replay them all, and that takes time. And that's all Michael wants is time to drown him.
Yeah, think twice again. Michael has not found a sweeper yet.
Finds it dissipate. Not relevant here.
Now we're trying to reach. We're in dangerous territory now. If he can't find a sweeper and a couple more cards, Caffery's going to be dead.
Finds Sphinx's Revelation, I believe.
A little late.
Yeah. So he can do it for 3 here.
Yeah, but then he can't cast the Wrath.
Yeah, and or he can do it for 4. He can also cast Thragtusk here. Not
take
enough.
10 in the air, not enough. I'm not sure he has a way out of this. Very close, but I think 4 Supreme Verdicts, just not enough. It looks like he might be. He's on his last. The last thing he can do is he can flashback a think twice and cross his fingers. And I think that may be his best play. Are those more lands over there on the left?
Oh wow, is that? Yeah, that's in play. That's not a graveyard. That's
that's more lands.
I was thinking he only had 6 lands left untapped.
So he's passing the turn. So yeah, he's setting up a huge Sphinx Revelation. Yeah. That's for 9. So I missed another stack of 5 lands on the top.
Yeah, I thought that was his graveyard, and then that detention sphere is in play, holding back a Crater Hoof Behemoth, and next to it is a ton of lands.
The life gain of 9 he's representing. He's about to take 13, so life gain of 9 will put him up to 14. A convenient number.
Quite convenient.
Yeah. Quite convenient. So remember,
did he only do it for 8? Or because that looks like an untapped land, and it looks like 8 to me, doesn't it?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's supposed to be tapped with the rest of the
maybe it just didn't.
If he tries to retap, it will say something, but I have a hunch that you can say it's tapped. And he's drawn his elixir.
Yeah, it's tapped. He's like, no, that's tapped.
So remember, what Michael's going to do is keep making land drops. This is the kind of game where we might see the entire match happen in game 1. If Caffery wins this game, it's very possible he will take the entire remaining 20 minutes to do it.
I don't know. I think he's closer to winning because I think Ryan's closer to being decked than we realize.
Here's what I would say. If I was Caffery in the situation, Caffery might not want to Drown Yard Ryan.
Oh, okay. So he might deliberately take the rest of the time.
If he feels that he's
rather than drown.
Yeah. Rather than drown, he might just put Ryan on a how many cards are Ryan?
8 turn clock or something. We're gonna count. Look, it looks like less than 8. It looks like maybe 6 or 7.
Single-digit number of cards.
Yeah. So Michael on 1 draws the top card, and it's a dissipate.
Did he find a Supreme Verdict? No.
Wow.
He has not found a Supreme Verdict yet.
I think he's like, wait, what's left in my library?
Looks like 10 left in his library. I don't know if I can actually count that fast. I think it was 10.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch how many it was either.
So then you have to think, what's the most efficient way to find it in your deck? And I think you start with the 1x amass the components. That's a fairly efficient drawer.
Did he have that in hand?
Yeah, he has the amass. So
he has an Azorius charm, which can save him some damage too. Like just.
I mean, I think he has to find the Supreme Verdict this turn.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's at 1. I'm trying to think, like, how can he...
He can't Revelation here because he'll deck himself if he does. He has too many lands and play to Revelation.
Right, okay. He also has an Augur of Bolus in hand, I think.
Oh, that's the bad... He should start with Augur.
Start with Augur,
yeah.
That's going to be cheaper than...
Digs as far as Amass for half the cost.
Yeah, so...
I'll go out on a limb here. I like, if played correctly, I like Michael Caffery to win this game.
I'm with you. I'm sitting here watching. I'm kind of like expecting him to win as well.
I bet this is the kind of thing, as yourself being an Azorius mage, I bet this is the kind of game you look at it from Michael's side of the board that gets you excited. You're just like, oh, this is so cool. He's gonna win.
I love this.
Blue mages are so cool.
And that's what I said early. I'm like, maybe it's too early to say, but I think Michael's gonna try to deck Ryan. He's going to try to find Drown Yard. He's going to try to just live long enough till Ryan loses all the cards, and that's clearly the plan now. One way or another, he's trying to deck Ryan. He's not trying to attack him. What is this?
Maybe it's Revelation for the rest of his deck. Okay, yeah, Revelation 4. That's fine. That's good too. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just enough to play. It's just enough mana to then, if you... Yeah.
To go Verdict and then Drown You.
Well,
he doesn't have to drown him.
Verdict, Drown You. Yeah, Supreme Verdict. Verdict's land, Elixir, Drown You. Maybe something along those lines. All right. Well, everybody back in the hand.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. Supreme Verdict in this way is it's much more like an overloaded Cyclonic Rift than it is a Supreme Verdict.
It really is. Yeah. Like, all those cards that were on the table are now in your hand instead of in the graveyard.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with casting Cyclonic Rift every turn.
Sure,
it's a good lock. He's going to have to discard.
I imagine so. He's only got about 24 cards.
He's got like half his deck in his hand.
Well, more than half of his remaining deck for sure. So here's I think is he's trying to decide what to discard. Yeah, he's setting things aside. Okay, I'm fine without this. I'm fine without this. I'm fine without this. He's picking what he wants, and one of them is Elixir.
Yeah. I would hope, yeah. I mean, yes, one of them needs to be Elixir.
He should be at much higher than 1, though. He did gain a ton of life from the Sphinx's Revelation.
Yep, he just Revelation for 6,
I think it was 6,
so he should be at 7 life.
Right, and then he can choose. What do you think? Does he Drown here or does he Elixir here?
I would Elixir.
Just to be safe.
He's going to Drown. It doesn't matter. I would Elixir because I am a Sharky player sometimes, and I would intentionally not Drown Rhinobarger.
Giant shark.
Well, not all the time. But sometimes, like right here, no, I wouldn't drown him. Okay,
I think
Rhinobarger is going to concede. Well, I think Rhinobarger has conceded the game, though.
Yeah. We'll confirm. Did game 1 go to Caffery? We're going to confirm.
Yeah, we'll confirm. I think so. Yeah. I mean, I can't see Caffery scooping there. That's,
no,
not at all.
See how
if one player scoop, it's got to be Rhinobarger.
Yeah, they had opposing beasts. There was nothing threatening Michael's life total. There.
So in the end, the pure control deck with the better late game.
And see, this is the Bant control I like. It's really blue-white control and uses Thragtusks and Farseeks more to just stay alive than anything else. It's not trying to Thragtusk isn't really attacking unless hey, you don't got anything to block. Sure, I'll attack. I'm gonna attack if there's an opening. But mostly, I just want to stay in this game.
And it's. I think a lot of our control decks have moved more toward that end of the spectrum. Also, this reminds me of blue-black from last season, where it's a Drown Yard deck first and foremost.
Strangely, a Bant deck is actually Drown Yard. It's a Drown Yard deck. Wait a second.
Well, the mana's very good in Ravnica.
It certainly is. Welcome back.
The hard part for Ryan, and this is a strategic part, magic you don't always see, is if you're Ryan, you have to think, how can I win 2 games in 17 minutes? Remember, a draw is no good for him. If Michael Caffery, you could be thinking, how can I draw this? How can I make this next game go
just not lose this next game? I don't have to win it. I just have to not lose it.
So, all right. So, how can Ryan win faster? And I don't see a way right away. He has 3 slaughter games. And if he were less pressed for time, I would think slaughter games would be an okay sideboard card here. If you could have slaughtered away the Sphinx's Revelations, for example, in Caffery's deck, I don't see how Caffery wins.
Strangely, even the Supreme Verdicts would have been a really reasonable target.
Right. So because of that, but the thing is that game plan, the I'm going to take all your Sphinx's Revelation game plan, I don't see it winning twice in 16 minutes.
Right, I'm with you. Yeah.
You know, that maybe once in 16 minutes. So as a result, what I'm looking from Rhinobarger is he has 3 Duresses in his board. Those would all come in. And he has 2 Ray of Revelations. And I would put both of those in. Because even though Ray, not necessarily the best card, it's like, what I want to do is play a guy, I want to take your answers, play a guy fast, and kill your answers. And those 2 cards accomplish that goal. And so that's what I think I would try to do here. Though I will admit that I think Slaughter Game is probably the correct sideboard in a vacuum.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I think on the other side, I think Michael is potentially on the same kind of idea that he was game 1. Like we mentioned, he just wants to stay alive as long as possible. So he could just bring in a couple of Terminuses, because he's got 2 more of those, just more sweepers, just keep buying time. He's got an additional detention sphere, but mostly I think he just wants
Terminus is fine.
Do the same kind of thing. He could bring in Sigarda if he wants to see if he wants to go aggro, but I don't even think he does.
I would definitely.
I think he doesn't really need, as you said,
he just needs to make this game last
2.
15 minutes.
He doesn't need to win game 2. He just needs to not lose game 2. So if he just stays alive.
So we are aware, for those of you asking about the standings pages being unavailable right now, that we are been aware that's been a problem that's been going on all day. What we will do while we're between games here is I'm going to run down. We had 25 players left in contention. We'll quickly run down some names if there's someone you're following. In the top 8, we already have 2 spots locked for top 8, or what I believe is locked for top 8. And those belong to Joel Parody and Ali Antrazi, both the only 2 ADOs left in the tournament.
You guys all know Ali, of course, plays ridiculous decks, and he's not disappointed today. Joel Parody is on Black Red Zombies. He is a host of the Pardon the Interrupt podcast.
Yeah. There we have 5 players at X11, 2 of these which you see now. We then have 18 players at X1. We'll fill you in on some of those results as we know them. We're going to bring you back to this game.
Yeah. So Faithless Looting from Ryan dumps an Unburial Rites and a Thrag Tusk into the bin. And that is the only action, the only non-land action so far. And Ryan's entire mana base coming into play tapped here, just mono buddy lands. Michael's going to cycle a Think Twice, or just cast it. Plays the 1 of Overgrown Tomb, tapped, passes back. Unfortunately for him, it looks like he's out of lands and unable to use the flashback Think Twice this turn.
So what you need to do from your Rhinobarger is just like, I even want to say, Unearth a Thrag Tusk. Get in there, win a game.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what he does. Now, granted, there's an Azorius Charm here for Caffery.
Oh, there's a second Think Twice. That's good. And he draws a 3rd Think Twice. And a Terminus off the top.
And he does that Temple Garden. Is Temple Garden the second land?
Yes. So there you go. The Terminus gets rid of the Thrag Tusk.
All right, sends it to the bottom of the deck.
And Michael looks like he's going to cast Think Twice again, try to find a land to play, and it looks like he found one.
He'd already played a land this turn, hadn't he?
No, he didn't. He had 2 lands, and he had the tapped Overgrown Tomb.
Overgrown Tomb was tapped last turn?
Yes, that came into play tapped, and at the end of turn he played a Think Twice, and then drew into a second Think Twice, and then untapped, had the Terminus, and then just played Alchemist Refuge. So we're good.
We're good. All right, thank you so. And the problem is that with his lands in play, it really has activated his whole hand, and Caffery is going to just be able to dig his heels into the ground. I really think we're going to see this match end 1-0 if Caffery plays
that's what Caffery wants to do here. And yeah, if I'm in Caffery's shoes, that's what I want to do. So finds a Hallowed Fountain, puts it in play untapped, plays a Thrag Tusk, and now he's got another chunk of life.
So interestingly enough, it's an interesting strategic thing. So say you're playing Bant Control, I think it's incorrect to put cards for the mirror in your sideboard.
What do you mean? Like,
why?
You should pre-sideboard for the mirror?
If you want cards for the mirror, they need to be in your game 1 deck. Okay. Because I think trying to win.
Oh, right, because you're not going to have.
You're not going to play games 2. You're not going to have time to play games 2 or 3 in the mirror.
That's for those of you
deck building at home, if you're building a deck like this, don't put in cards for the mirror. I don't see the reason.
But don't put cards for the mirror in your
in
board.
In your sideboard.
Put them in your main deck. I love that idea.
Find a way to put that Drown Yard in the main or something, which is what Caffery's done.
Yeah.
But like the idea of, I'll board into Drown Yards because they're really good in this matchup. No, you won't. It's not gonna happen.
You're not gonna have time to.
You're not gonna
win.
have time to. If you lose game 1, you're not gonna have time to Drown Yard him twice.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. So in the meantime, Caffery and Rhinobarger switched Thragtusk situations here because Rhinobarger attacked, I believe, with his Beast and the Restoration Angel. Caffery blocked with his Thragtusk, ended up with a Beast, and Ryan played a second Thragtusk, and I believe it was just a pass on Michael Caffery's side. He just untaps, passes, has no land drop. So board state right now, Michael Caffery on 5 lands, one of which is an Alchemist Refuge, which is can be relevant later on. Not at this point, I don't think. He has a Beast.
What Caffery's going to do to stall this game here is he's just going to slowly trade away his creatures, maybe play another Thragtusk. Only take 2 or 3 damage per turn. Take one creature per turn, and then if things get dicey, Supreme Verdict. Then start again. Then eventually cast a Sphinx's Revelation. Then 10 minutes later, he's going to hope to shake hands.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what he did game 1.
Right.
Yeah. So same game plan.
Yeah,
here.
he's not trying to answer the board. So right here, he probably won't even sweep the board right now because Rhinobarger's only swinging for 3. He can gain that life back with Sphinx's Revelations. No biggie.
Yeah. In the meantime, Ryan flashing back a Faithless Looting after I believe a Grizzly Salvage, or Mulch, I'm sorry, you see that right there.
And that combo really sweet when you have a lot of lands to be able to mulch, like when you hit a really good Mulch, then Faithless Looting becomes such a great card.
And he discards Angel of Serenity and something else, didn't catch what it was.
And step he's just
he's going to cycle the Azorius Charm. Draws a Dissipate.
Yeah, Azorius Charm could be cycled there. There's an argument to be made for simply putting the Resto Angel. If there wasn't a Thragtusk in play, he'd probably choose it to put the Resto Angel back on the top of the deck. Remember, what he wants to do is make land drops and force Ryan to overcommit. Just by being obnoxious, just like not winning, just making all Michael Caffery wants to do is make his land drops in peace.
And Farseek's going to help him out.
So for update for Wes Wise from our last round, winning again. I believe he will most likely have to play again, so he will be still 1 match out of top 8. We had him walk by here.
All right, so after the Farseek, Michael passes back to Ryan. Ryan untaps his Thragtusk and Restoration Angel and his 6 lands. Plays a 7th and has the Angel of Serenity. And a Dissipate from Michael Caffery. There is no Cavern of Souls on the other side of the board. And Michael free to actually counter an Angel.
And get it in, and nonetheless dissipate it.
Yeah, exactly. It's even better. Like, it cannot be reanimated. I mean, I almost thought, oh yeah, of course, Angel resolves, right? Cavern on Angel.
Yeah.
Like, good
you're so used to it last game where the person, the eye roll, yep, Angel resolves.
Every Angel resolves, but no Cavern. How many did he play? Just 2. Ryan just plays 2 Caverns. So,
interestingly enough, we haven't gotten to the point yet in this matchup where Ghost Quarter would see play, but this is the sort of matchup where we might start to see Ghost Quarter becoming a real card. If Bant decks all start taking on Drown Yards, it's not inconceivable to think that we see that.
Yeah, you're right. A Faithless Looting from Ryan. And a Duress. So, Michael Caffery right now, I believe, has the opportunity to counter the Duress, but he's going to let it resolve. Yes, he does have it Dissipate if he wanted. Wow. Half Sweepers, a Counterspell, and 2 Detention Spheres. So, Ryan's got a choice between basically Sweeper, Counterspell, or Answer or Counterspell. Well, Counterspell's an answer too, so. I think you just take the one of the verdicts. Oh, he takes a Dissipate. Okay, actually I like that, especially if he's got another Angel to resolve. So So duress leaves Michael Caffery with Terminus, Supreme Verdict, Detention Sphere, Detention Sphere.
And for a player whose goal is to make the game last longer, I can't think of a much better hand.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan took his Dissipate, but...
I mean, Ryan, what that does mean is Ryan must have something that he thinks that he doesn't want to have dissipated. Michael Caffery only at 11 life. Ryan with a lot of power in the board. Players can have a discussion here.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know if it was a... I don't know what it was right there. I don't know if he's flashing back. I think twice did... Yeah, I think he just...
We'll get you...
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what's going on. There was definitely... He definitely drew a card here, because there's, I think, a Temple Garden now in his hand that wasn't there. There may be discussion, because it looks, from all indications, that this is an end step, maybe a flashback think twice on end step, and Ryan may be saying, no, I didn't pass the turn. Because he obviously didn't attack, which seems very strange.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean... Is that what it looks like to you?
Okay, so, alright. He didn't believe they were on end step, so Caffery, here's what I believe happened. Caffery tried to think twice on end step, and Ryan said, no, I hadn't gone to end step. I wanted to attack. There's a miscommunication. The judge ruled Caffery did not give him sufficient time to attack, therefore they have to back up to the main phase. Caffery, the fix is, must randomly put a hand on top of his deck, card on top of his deck, which would have been think twice. And at the end of this turn, Caffery will get to redraw that card and play the think twice.
It's interesting.
I believe it's something along the lines of that. So obviously, if I said something that's slightly wrong, bear with us here. But I think that's the gist of what's going on.
That sounds right to me. The thing that I think is a little odd in this situation is the random card off the top, considering Ryan knows Michael's exact hand besides that one card. So
that actually is, yeah.
It's like he can show him.
I'm not sure
the cards you know, and then I'm going to put this other one on top. Like,
I'm not positive if that knowledge actually changes it.
Right.
I'd have to get a high-level judge to ask that. I know that in the situation where the hand is unknown to his opponent, then that
would
is
make
the
a lot more
accepted
sense,
fix.
right?
But it might not change because of the duress. Regardless, I don't think it seriously impacts the pacing of this game.
Exactly.
The players will probably get a slight time extension, so we'll keep you updated on the clock if one's awarded.
So, Restoration Angel got in, and Michael cast Think Twice, and...
So Caffery's down to 8 then, is that correct?
I think so. And then Michael plays his Temple Garden tapped.
Caffery, he's all in on this game, Caffery playing for trying to win 1-0. Rhinobarger, all right, he's going to Dreadbore the Beast token. He's going to try to go for lethal.
And we know Michael has a negate now. I believe that was the second.
Yeah, I think this is a little ambitious on Michael Caffery's part to let his life total get so low. Oh, no, never mind. He has Alchemist's Refuge, so...
Oh, yeah. By the way...
My mistake. He's completely fine. Oh, everything's an instant now.
Yeah, did you know Wrath of God...
0.
Wrath of God was an instant?
It used to be called Route, I believe. If you pay 2 extra mana for Route, then you can play it at instant speed.
There you go. And it was pretty
much
what just happened. So,
it's actually, at 7 mana, it's very similar to Route.
Yeah. So we see Rhinobarger rebuilding now. He gets at Beast and then casts the Angel of Serenity, which resolves, taking, I believe, Restoration Angel, Thrag Tusk underneath. And Caffery top decks another sweeper. How about that? This is, he's got still 3 sweepers in hand. He's got Terminus, 2 Supreme Verdicts. And he passes back. Ryan now attacks, and we're going to see the same thing as last turn, but this time with a Terminus. So Caffery with Alchemist's Refuge and a Terminus this time.
Sends everything back to the bottom. The bottom of the deck getting awfully crowded. We have a Thrag Tusk there, we have an Angel there.
Yeah, and now Ryan again, can recap. It's funny, it's like the most expensive fog ever. It's essentially what Michael's doing. Well, sure. There's the Thrag Tusk.
Thrag down, Rhinobarger goes to some other big number that Michael doesn't care about.
Yeah. Caffery untaps and probably going to draw a sweeper here because that's all that's in his deck apparently.
Well, he's got 2 detention spheres and 2 supreme verdicts and some lands.
And he's got all those are live under an alchemist refuge.
The part I like about the alchemist refuge is that yes, it essentially will fog every turn when he wants to do it.
So he's going to go ahead and actually main phase a detention sphere.
Wow, pretty aggressive there by Michael Caffery.
Yeah, but now he can still just you know, go ahead and do the alchemist refuge supreme verdict.
All right, less than 1 minute remaining. I mean, both players keeping relevant pace. Michael will go to 5. Checks his graveyard for any think twices. Abrupt decay on a detention sphere. That will resolve.
I think it'll resolve too. Yeah. I mean,
yep. That.
Sure.
The citizens of Ravnica do not like having their spells be
countered. So does Caffery just go ahead and go, oh, supreme verdict at your end step here? Just like, why not?
Why do it on end step? Would be my answer. I think the only time he's going to ever want to cast a sweeper is during the combat step of Ryan Rheinbarger's turn.
Okay. I think he just top deck a Sphinx's Revelation, maybe?
Oh, lovely.
I mean, that's a card.
Sure, Rheinbarger can create more. And those cards are all going straight to the graveyard. Yes, and he did top deck a Sphinx's Revelation. I can't see Caffery letting this out of his hand.
So here comes everybody. After a Restoration Angel blinks a Thragtusk at the end of Caffery's turn, Rheinbarger now attacking with Thragtusk, Beast, Restoration Angel. Caffery says, I'm going to activate Alchemist Refuge and Supreme Verdict. Boom! Surprise! Out of the clouds.
Kills 3 creatures and
there goes everything. And leaves a lone beast. These are the most expensive fogs ever. I mean, they are clearing the board. They're making Ryan spend his turns, too, you know? So it's not like... It's not actually just fogging.
Alright, so Rheinbarger, remember, he's just that 5 makes it look so close. You know, you could almost reach it. He's just 5 more damage. Like,
I think the life totals are stuck. Like, Caffery cannot drop below 5. It's just impossible.
Brimstone Volley, just something. Alright, this is the turn 0 happened during Rheinbarger's turn, so this is now turn 1, which means Michael Caffery only needs to stop the attack steps on turn 2 and 4 of Rheinbarger. 2 more sweepers.
Yeah, so this should be turn 2.
This is turn 1. We're on turn 2.
Yeah, because I think when you said it was turn 1, Caffery went
just
go.
Said go.
That was
all right.
It, so
Caffery's going to draw a lot of cards, and between that and the Supreme Verdict in his hand, he should be just fine. So this is turn 2. Caffery draws a lot of cards. He draws 8.
He just took 8, but he drew 8. Yeah.
Drew 8, gained 8.
Did he drew 8?
So now we're on turn 3. Caffery's turn 3. He has a Supreme Verdict. He'll do it during Rheinbarger's attack step. That should be good enough.
Oh,
Bant
wow.
is a jerk sometimes. This is
the best.
The card I'm actually most impressed by right here. This is the best I've ever seen Alchemist's Refuge ban as
Yeah, it's being pretty impressive.
It's not a card I would have thought including in this deck, but I think it is. I think it has been a linchpin in Michael's ability to win this game. Because every time he casts a Supreme Verdict, he's also fogging. It's like destroy all creatures, target player skips their next combat step.
Yeah.
Like how obnoxious of a wrath would that be? You know?
It should cost like 7 mana.
About 7, yeah.
End step, Restoration Angel comes down, blinks Thragtusk. Rheinbarger has to know, like,
you have the
what is it gonna, you have another sweeper, right? Yep, here it is. Yeah.
Boom.
Michael's like, I don't know, one of these gold cards does it.
And that
Clear
was
the board
4.
again. Leave you with just a beast again.
Yep, turn 4.
And
Rheinbarger.
Yeah. So
no Brimstone Volley. Caffery says go.
Yeah, and that's it.
Michael Caffery defeats Ryan Rheinbarger 1 game to 0.
1 game to 0.